This is me at the age of 4. My mother was a heroin addict, and when I was 7, she abandoned my little sister and me here at the Nickerson Gardens in Watts. Kids in Watts learn one thing from a very early age. If you want to survive, you have to fight. So I fought a lot. When I was 16, I got into a big fight, and it was ugly. Next thing you know, I was in a court being tried as an adult for assault and great bodily injury. Even though I was a juvenile, I was sentenced to 6 years in prison. The moment I heard the sentence, I was numb. All I could think of was, what would I do next?
I was really hurt. I felt like I had lost my best friend because he was gone.
When I first walked into prison, I was overcome by emotions of fear, and I saw no one there to protect me, no one there to guide me, no one there to teach me, and it was then left up to me to make something of that. I decided that I wasn't a criminal, and this life wasn't for me, and I would do everything in my power to change it. It hit me that education would be my way out of this.
The first time I met Prophet was at Sylmar Juvenile Hall. He was 16 years old, and he was walking into my creative writing class I taught in Juvenile Hall.
A lot of guys in there were just like me. They were young guys, very impressionable, and could have gone either way. And I wanted to do something to change that.
He wrote a proposal, sent it to the Department of Corrections, and himself was able to change the way that all kids are treated when they hit prison.
After years of teaching classes, Scott Budnick met Prophet Walker, then a teenager, sentenced to 6 years for assault.
When Prophet left the juvenile system and went to adult prison, he found a totally different world.
And that's when Budnick and Walker had an idea.
X-coordinate is straight across.
A college program for young offenders in adult prison. Now the program is spreading to prisons across the state.
The amount of impact that Prophet's dreams had in creating the college program is unbelievable. There's been thousands of inmates who have graduated, gotten out, gone onto university campuses, and are now leading productive lives because of this program.
I first met Prophet while I was in CRC prison.
I first heard of the college program, which Prophet helped initiate while I was on lockdown at San Ella State Prison.
It made me realize that I'm not low, that I still have a chance.
It gave me hope, you know, because at that point, it was just push-ups and running laps in a circle.
It made me look forward to something. Like when I go home, I can make my mom proud, let her know that, look, I've done something.
So now I go to Loyola Marymount University. I attend the School of Business.
Now I'm a full-time student at Cal State Fullerton. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him.
Prophet pretty much changed my life from 180.
After I was released, it was, what do I do now? My life has been given back to me.
Prophet, from the day he stepped out, has looked to see what he could do to make Watts a better place.
There's 4 major housing projects in Watts. Unfortunately, for the children there, these kids who are blocks away from one another, they grow up believing that some kid in the other area hates them, and in turn that they should hate that kid.
For many of the 118 kids who stepped off a bus this morning at Canyon Creek Camp in Lake Hughes, it was their first time away from the housing projects, the gangs, and the violence that are too often part of their daily lives.
And it was a really simple concept of bringing kids from each of the rival housing projects, bringing their parents, teachers that cared, law enforcement, clergy, electeds, gang interventionists, and whoever was a part of this puzzle of making this community become whole.
They interact, with each other and come up with creative ways where they're all forced to depend on each other. The Watts United Weekend reduces gang violence because now they have a better understanding of the people that, they grew up not liking. And they can see that most of them are good people.
By the end of this weekend, these kids were crying. They were asking to stay with their new best friend, and that dynamic for those kids had been broken.
Role models are very important to this community. I believe that you become what you're being led by.
My community needs a role model. They need someone that they can see themselves in.
The kids look at Prophet and they know they can turn their life around too.
Just to know that somebody came out of the rough parts of our community and is walking, talking what is right, what is positive, and what is hopeful. He would be the perfect role model.
When Prophet see these kids have been in trouble, his heart just pour out for them. It just pour out for them. What could I do? How could I save them?
This guy has already made more of a difference in people's lives than most elected officials. I mean, Prophet is the hope and is the inspiration for a community that definitely needs more hope and more inspiration.
Hope is not a paid position. Hope is the individual who say, let me give my all, my soul. Let me give it all.
Time and again, it seems Prophet builds doors where people say the door's locked or closed.
When someone said that you can't bring all of these communities together, you know, he proved that with the Watts United retreat that it can be done.
When you say we can't do anything about it, you, to me, begin to say these kids aren't worth our fight.
He sets out to prove people wrong that it can be done.
I mean, the man he doesn't give up.
I think anyone who cares about kids should care about Prophet Walker. I really feel like his story resonates not just within his district, but with anybody who believes that all kids deserve the best. We really need people to support a dynamic candidate like Prophet.
Prophet didn't just turn his life around, he made miracles happen.
I graduated from Loyola with a degree in engineering, and now I manage projects for a large construction company. So I think like a builder. I look at a challenge and I say, how do we build a solution? How do we create things that work well and can last? I'm running for assembly because all too often, kids in this district are not protected, and there's no one there to fight for them. Making the decision to just be better and do what's right equipped me to lead in the face of fear, to lead when things are unpopular. Thousands of families have given up, and I want to give them hope. Thousands of kids have been abandoned, and I want to let them know that they're not alone. And dozens of communities have been left behind, and I want to be their champion.
I believe in Prophet Walker.
I believe in Prophet 100%.
I believe in Prophet because he believes in us.
I believe in him because everything he told me he was going to do, when he came home, he has accomplished.
I believe in Prophet Walker.